Posing the greatest risk. This is Local 12 News live at 6.
Good evening. It's showdown day for the University of Cincinnati and white supremacist Richard Spencer.
We're going to get to that story with Joe Webb. That's exactly who he's going to tell us. The activist had threatened to sue the university today if they did not grant his request to speak on campus. Local 12's Joe Webb has been following the story and filed this report.
Not all sounds on a college campus can be as harmonious as the UC Vocaholics were Friday morning. Preserving the campus peace is just one reason UC trustees met yesterday afternoon. They discussed privately white nationalist activist Richard Spencer's request to rent a room and speak at UC. No decision was made.
They can either voluntarily let Cameron Padgett rent a room on campus at which Richard Spencer can speak, or else we will take it to federal court and we will seek any and all relief available to us.
UC is in a tough spot. Mark Mezebov has tried First Amendment cases for decades. He says any attempt to keep Spencer out of a public university is an expensive, uphill battle.
They could be held accountable. They could be compelled to open the forum to this speaker. They could be held accountable for if anyone suffers damages because of that. That's more speculative, but attorney's fees and the like.
UC also faces the high cost of security. Spencer is likely to draw a crowd of protesters. When Spencer spoke at Texas A&M, there were clashes. On campus today, no one spoke out in support of Spencer's message.
Well, I don't really think it's a good idea for him to speak.
It just sounds like a bad idea that's going to cause like a bunch of fights and stuff.
But some respected his freedom to speak, regardless of whether they respected what he had to say.
I feel he does have the right to speak his mind. Of course, if the university is lawfully rejecting that, then that's their right as well. I mean, I personally obviously disagree with what the gentleman has to say.
Now, the deadline imposed by Spencer's lawyer passed about an hour ago. He said he'd file a lawsuit this weekend if he didn't get a response. We just got an email sent to us by the University of Cincinnati, and it's Cincinnati's president's response to the UC community. I have not had a chance to read all of it, but UC spokesman Greg Veer tells me that UC has responded to the community, and they have begun discussions with Richard Spencer's legal counsel to determine if they can accommodate his request. They say they're doing this in the spirit of preserving free speech. UC was originally contacted by Cameron Padgett about renting space for several hundred people at the Marriott that is here on campus. After asking a few questions, it became clear to them that he represented Spencer. At that point, UC officials decided to hold off on granting his request for a room until they had a little bit of time to talk about it, but we should have more details. You guys should have that full statement from UC's president back in the newsroom, and we can get that on the air as soon as you guys get that turned around. That's the situation here on the UC campus. I'm Joe Webb, Local 12 News. Rob?
Joe, thanks very much. I do, in fact, have that in my hand right now. UC President Neville Pinto released a statement just a couple of moments ago. This is what Joe was talking about. It says, in part, the public university must adhere to the foundational rights embedded in the First Amendment, and that includes protecting speech of all types at all times, even, perhaps especially, words that are blatantly hateful or offensive. Spencer has also given the Ohio State University a today deadline to arrange for him to speak there. He will be speaking at the University of Florida next Thursday. The university president and Florida Senator Marco Rubio are encouraging people to not attend that.